So we're on to the next step of the project. I picked a gas tank and it won't fit. That's all right. I measured and it's exactly the right size. But before that, I have to take these off. Do you want to see the tank? Here it is. I had a lot of options, and all the ones I really liked were super tiny Sportster tanks. So I felt like this was a good in-between where I can still see my engine while I'm riding, but it's not so tiny. I think it's a 2-gallon, something like that. But it'll fit something like this, and it's really hard to show you with these tabs on. So let's cut them off. Sparks flying up in my hair does not feel that good. So I'm gonna finish cutting this one off from the other side before I move on to this one. I kind of had the same problem there too, didn't I? And I didn't want this thing to go flying, so I left a little tiny sliver for me to grab and yank it off. This is really fun. If you're not sure if you'd want to do this or not, you want to do this. This is, you feel like a badass. I could grind these down flush, but I really want to see what the tank will look like. So let's grab that tank. I think that is where it will live. I could bring it up further, and then traditionally you have more space between your seat and the tank, but that would require me to drill an additional hole here. But on the plus side, if I ever wanted to convert back, and I'll keep those tabs so I can, maybe I won't, maybe I'll just throw those things away, but I could drill a hole here. This is what I'll use to mount the gas tanks. It's called the blind top hat, and what that means is there's no hole on this side, only on this side, so if you're putting it into a tank of some sort, the tank won't leak, and then you weld it around here, and because it's a slug, it's got some strength to it. So there's a hole here where the speedometer cable goes to the gauge and to the transmission, and this guy just drops right into it. So, you know, if I want, I can put it higher, and then after I've got this one located, figure out where this one goes and drill a hole. All this stuff came from Lowbrow's Custom, and I was really impressed. The shipping box was really well packed. Everything looks cool. They send you some stickers. It's a good motorcycle supply company. And this is the gas cap I bought. They make flush ones where you don't see them at all, and you push them and then they screw out, but that's a little complicated. I just want simple, as simple as it can be on this thing. But this is cool. You tighten it until it clicks, and then you can turn it back to however you want to look cool. And I think that's kind of neat. And other cool thing about this is that it says Lowbrow Customs on it. And I think that's cool. Is it made in the you know what? I think it's made in Taiwan, but let me double check. Yeah, made in Taiwan. And, you know, they had it made for them. What do I think about Taiwan? I think Taiwan makes really great stuff. They're not China. China doesn't recognize them. I've bought stuff from Taiwan before, and it's always been high quality. So Japan's the best. USA is great. China is usually crummy. But a lot of stuff comes out of China. And then, but at least people are becoming more aware. Like this one, this was made in the USA. And they've made this particular one for a long time, made in China. And I know a lot of the parts are from China, and they just ship the parts over here and have an American assemble it. But that's better than the other way, and at least they employ somebody here. And say what you want about globalism, but people here need to eat too. And yeah, it's really, for me, down to quality. I don't care where something comes from, as long as it's got good quality. It's kind of like with Japan. Japan used to have a reputation of terrible quality, you know, way before I was born. And then for decades, they had a reputation for making the best stuff. And they still have that reputation. It takes decades to ruin a reputation like that, but for decades, just really crummy stuff has come out of China. So here's something I was just thinking to myself, nobody wants to see me grind these down to flush. Most people have already clicked out by now, but why not put it in? It takes like 5 extra seconds for me to edit this. I'll fast forward it so it looks cooler than not fast forwarded. But if you don't want to watch it, just click out. There's going to be no special message, especially not for Sam Barden or any, you know, joke referring back to a secret before. Yeah, definitely don't just skip to the end, though. The more I think about it, the more I think I need to move it this way and drill a new hole. And I would also cover this up without it, you know, without me needing to clean it up too much. And then if I leave it raised a little bit, then if I ever want to put those tabs back on, I know exactly where to put them. Now this is really interesting. The tab was welded on from this side and from this side, and I can actually see how far the weld went in. And in the center, the weld didn't penetrate. And that's pretty neat. And for what I want, a ridden bike, this is fine. Let me go grab the seat and the tank and look at that one more time before I pack it up. Yeah, it looks way cooler being higher up. I was actually planning to weld in a 22 millimeter bung right here. And I might do that. I might chop this one out and put my 22 millimeter. It's for a 1/4 inch right now. For the 1/4 inch, pretty fine. Yeah, so it's going to go as high up the neck as it can, because the triple trees do not go past the neck here. So we've got plenty of clearance. And I'll be able to see my rocker box real well right here. That's cool. It kind of looks like a Hornet. How should I paint it? My wife thinks I should just clear coat it, or let it get a little rust and then clear coat it. And for a rat bike like this, that's cool, but I don't know. I mean, I could paint it really cool. That'd cost money though, right? See ya. Stay young. Stay cool. Not that you could do that. Well, I guess you can kind of do that if you ride a motorcycle. Till you die on it. Then you're just dead.